Hey, Matt here with Seattle Chinese Times. I'm sitting here with Marc and Shereef. From Tic Toc Games. They're going to be showing off, or are showing off, Adventures of Pip here at PAX on the 6th floor with a bunch of indies. There's so many indies here. It's crazy how many indies are here. Like, of course, you got your AAA stuff downstairs. Let them, let people sit in line for 2 hours, whatever. Come up here and play some good stuff. So
I heard it's also a lot cooler up here than it is down there. It's pretty sweaty.
it's a little muggy down there, yeah. So you guys came up from California, right?
Yeah, we got here at 6 a.m. and from North Hollywood, it was like the craziest thing. I got up and picked him up at 3 from his house.
I was awake at 2 o'clock, and so we got here, had a flight, and just set up all day. It was
awesome though. Like, we got here and we just hit the ground running. We got our TVs from the rental place, started setting up our booth, and we went really hard charging, getting everything ready, like perfect by this morning. And then our team back in NoHo sent us a new build with some bug fixes, like at what time last night? Like 11 o'clock last night. We're like playing the build and going, this is better. Let's demo this. So we had to come back here, reset everything up in the morning, make sure that everything worked, and yeah, it was great though.
The bug fixes now. So if you come back tomorrow, it'll be a completely.
You guys got someone coding right there behind the curtain there.
Back home, they're coding. They're going to send us the build.
It's amazing because we're getting so much great feedback from the community here. At PAX, everybody's just playing the game. They're putting a lot of great things out there, like, wouldn't it be better if this stood out a little bit more? And we're like, you know what, that's a good point. So we got Garth here, the lead programmer, and he's fidgeting around in the back every now and then fixing bugs. And we got guys back in North Hollywood also fixing bugs right now too. So as they come up, we just prioritize and say, get those in before the end of the show. We want everybody to see how much we care about this game.
What's great is that we're running out of people who haven't played the game in the office. So it's like, has he played it? Yeah, everybody's played it. So here we're getting fresh experiences every single gameplay.
How many people do you guys have working at Tic Toc?
Right now we've got about 18 people working at Tic Toc, but the way we're set up is it's kind of weird. Like, we do a lot of work for other publishers, because we need to pay the bills for lights and everything. So we'll do a lot of work for hire stuff, and then we'll use any money that we could save to support Pip. So hence the Kickstarter, right? Doing that is like really hard. It keeps shifting the team's focus. So with Kickstarter, we could raise some money, and then with that, we can actually just dedicate the team 100% on just focusing on Adventures of Pip. And that's kind of what we're trying to do right now, is just raise awareness about Pip, get people talking about it, so that we can hopefully get the Kickstarter to fund.
People playing it is the most important thing, because in our first Kickstarter, we didn't have a playable demo. Now people can play it, people can report on it and show it off. So
last time we spoke, you guys were nearing the end of your first Kickstarter. It's about 2 or 3 days away. I really wish we got in earlier for that coverage. Maybe our tiny little following would have been able to help you guys. But so you guys are back with a new Kickstarter. You guys have made a bunch of changes. What's new? First of all, maybe a little description of the game for people who haven't heard of it first, and then maybe for the folks that have been following, what's new to this build of the game in the second Kickstarter?
Well, what's the game is mainly about is it's about evolution. You start off as a single pixel, and as you defeat enemies, you absorb their pixels into you, and you grow and you gain more abilities. So the thing is, as you gain more abilities, you think that you just want to keep evolving, but if you de-evolve, you'll realize that some of the earlier versions of you are just as special, and that's kind of the moral behind our story. What has changed since our last Kickstarter is we were doing a lot of playtesting, and what we noticed is that we had 7 evolutions of Pip, and it just started to get a little too convoluted for players to understand what does each evolution do, what is each evolution's ability. So we crammed that down into 3 specific evolutions. We have a tiny Pip who's light, he can jump really high. We've got an agile Pip, which is the next evolution, and he can jump off walls, he can ledge grab.
And then we have like heavy Pip, who's kind of like the big strong Pip, and he's able to break walls and like push heavy blocks and stuff like that. But because you are basically evolving, you're also losing certain things too. Like you're not as agile as Heavy Pip. You can't really wall jump as easy. So you want to sometimes switch between your evolution and de-evolve yourself so that you could go ahead and be the super agile Pip and complete the level a lot easier. So it's really a cool kind of message that Marc really came up with on this game, where it's saying, you can evolve to become special, but it doesn't change the fact that de-evolving, being low res, still is special too. So, and little Pip, I think, is my favorite Pip because I can get into the small areas and find villagers and little chests that people wouldn't find normally. So
cinematic, that's kind of the key behind the game story, is that you want to be you start off really small and you don't want to say, hey, get bigger and that's better. It's you want to say, you are always important, you're always special, and you evolve, and you're also special in all different ways, but it doesn't mean that you weren't special before either. So that's what you should learn throughout the gameplay.
Also, the most significant change, though, with the evolution and de-evolution is that we directly tied it to the gameplay, I think it was really important to kind of look and say, why is this meaningful to the game instead of to the story? And we looked at the level design and we looked at the different evolutions of Pip, and we said, let's tie these things very closely together. Let's get a little Twitch gameplay in there, too, where you have to, de-evolve and then evolve, quickly so that you can, become agile Pip, wall jump up, then hit an enemy, evolve, only to push a block over, knock it down, de-evolve on the way down. Really create these intricate kind of strategy puzzles for people to play in a platformer, which makes it completely unique. I haven't played anything like it before. So that, I think, was the biggest change that we did in the game. Because before, the evolution wasn't meaningful. It was meaningful, but not awesome. It was I get hit, I de-evolve. I kill something, I evolve. It's cool, but
to point out is that you get hit, you don't de-evolve anymore. What we found from players was that when you got hit and you de-evolved, people were starting to suicide themselves so that they can de-evolve to get through.
Yeah, I tried it myself.
Yeah, as I saw you do yourself. So what we did is we instead gave a live system. This way, people will want to play as single pixel Pip and not worry about, oh, I got hit, I de-evolved. Maybe I just want to play as a smaller guy. It's kind of like when you play Mario. You don't ever want to be small Mario. You always want to be big Mario because you got 2 hits. But so we took it out, we put in a live system, and it plays much better that way.
So one of the things that really stood out to me was, first of all, yeah, you guys are attracting quite a crowd here. So I was really enjoying the de-evolution and evolution system and switching in and out and all that. And one of the things I love about platformers is all the collectibles and hidden crevices and such. And we didn't see it in the demo here today, but you guys have multiple paths to go through. So how is that going to correlate to as far as level layout and progressing through the story?
So right now, the game is level based, and what you see in the demo is that a lot of the evolution and de-evolution is on a linear path. But what we want to do is make the hard evolution, de-evolution combos that Shereef was talking about along the secret path, so that you have to really work at it, and it's up to the player's choice to decide, I want to use a lot of evolutions or I want to de-evolve, but it's my choice if I want to take the easier path or that harder path.
Reward, kind of send it so that it still appeals to a lot of hardcore gamers, but still there's a mid-core path where people could still play, and but the completist is going to want to really kind of dig in there and find all those secrets inside there. Another game similar, obviously Shovel Knight is really taking off. Those are friends of ours from the Yacht Club over there, and they really nailed it with that kind of gameplay in the level design. And Shovel Knight is actually making an appearance in our game, which we're really stoked about. So yeah, and Pip is actually going to be in an indie kart racing game too. So we're all the indies are kind of linking arms together. All do this,
All of the Kickstarters really just try and join together, and everyone's got everyone's characters in everyone's games. It's like a big cesspool.
It's a big happy indie family.
We got guys that we've backed in both of our projects, or both ends here. Foresight Fantasy is right here too, and Nova Heartbeats are right next to us. So we're supporters of both of those guys. We've been making jokes at each other almost all day long today. So hopefully we will do something with them too, or we do some kind of character sharing in the future.
So the Kickstarter's going on now. Still got plenty of time to get in there and make your pledges, people. Everybody, get out there and pledge. So we're coming out to Wii U, correct?
Yep. Wii U and Steam are the lead platforms. We want to, if we hit our stretch goals, we'll be able to hit Xbox One and PlayStation as well. we'd love to hit all the platforms day and date, but just, we'd rather make sure that we got the right game out there for everybody on whatever platforms we can, rather than stretch it thin and try to hit all the platforms with a game that we weren't like super proud of, just so that we could say we did go day and date with everything. So, the most important thing for us is to make sure that we get the best gaming experience out there. These guys are helping us, any help that we could get from the Kickstarter community too, or the gaming community joining Kickstarter, help us out. We could use it.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it would obviously be great to get on the other platforms, but I definitely think this fits in perfectly with the Nintendo catalog. It is a Nintendo game at its soul. Like, just from...
That was great. They've been very supportive, and they were even stopping by today just to make sure that we're getting everything we need, which is great.
Awesome. Any last words you want to leave with people?
Kickstarter, we still have like over 30 days to go, so check it out. You can see a lot of the gameplay footage on there, and support us or spread the word. That's just as good.
Awesome. Looks great. Get out there. Pledge for Adventures of Pip. All right, so if you guys want any more PAX coverage this weekend, which I'm sure you do, follow us on Twitter at Seattle eGamers, and then for more news and reviews, check out SeattleChineseTimes.com.